1 Samuel chapter 19. Saul told his son Jonathan and all the attendants to kill David. But Jonathan liked David very much, so Jonathan warned him, "My father Saul is looking for a chance to kill you. Be very careful tomorrow morning. Find a place to hide and stay there. My father and I will come and stay in the field where you are hiding. I will speak to him about you, and I will tell you what I find out." Jonathan told his father Saul some good things about David. He said to him, "Please don't do anything to harm David. He hasn't done anything to harm you, and what he has done has helped you a lot. He put his own life in danger when he killed Goliath. The Lord used him to win a great battle for the whole nation of Israel. When you saw it, you were glad. So why would you do anything to harm a man like David? He isn't guilty of doing anything to harm you. Why would you want to kill him without any reason?" Saul paid attention to Jonathan. Saul made a promise. He said, "You can be sure that the Lord lives, and you can be just as sure that David will not be put to death." So Jonathan sent for David and told him everything he and Saul had said. Then he brought David to Saul. David served Saul as he had done before. Once more war broke out, so David went out and fought against the Philistines. He struck them down with so much force that they ran away from him. But an evil spirit sent by the Lord came on Saul. It happened as he was sitting in his house holding his spear. When David was playing the harp, Saul tried to pin him to the wall with his spear. But David got away from just as Saul dropped the spear into the wall. That night, David escaped. Saul sent some men to watch David's house. He told him to kill David the next morning. But David's wife Michal warned him. She said, "You must run for your life tonight. If you don't, tomorrow you will be killed." So Michal helped David escape through a window. He ran and got away. Then Michal got a statue of God. She laid it on David's bed. She covered it with clothes, and she put some goat hair at the place where David's head would have been. Saul sent the men to capture David, but Michal told them, "He's sick." Then Saul sent the men back to see David. He told them, "Bring him up here to me in his bed. Then I will kill him." But when the men entered, the only thing they found in the bed was the statue. Some goat hair was at the place where David's head would have been. Saul said to Michal, "Why did you treat me like this? Why did you help my enemies escape?" Michal told him, "He said to me, 'Let me get away. If you don't, I will kill you.'" After David had ran away and escaped, he went to Samuel to Ramah. He told him everything Saul had done to him. Then David and Samuel went to Naioth and stayed there. So Saul was told, "David is in Naioth at Ramah." So Saul sent some men to capture him. When they got there, they saw a group of prophets who were prophesying. Samuel was standing there as their leader. Then the Spirit of God came on Saul's men, so they also began to prophesy. Saul was told about it, so he sent some more men. They began to prophesy too. Saul sent some men a third time, and they also began to prophesy. Finally, Saul decided to go to Ramah himself. He went to the large well at Seku. He asked him some people, "Where are Samuel and David?" "Over in Naioth at Ramah," they said. So Saul went to Naioth at Ramah, but the Spirit of God even came on him. He walked along and prophesied until he came to Naioth. And there he took off his clothes. Then he also prophesied in front of Samuel. He lay there without his clothes all that night and night. That's why people say, "Is Saul also one of the prophets?" 1 Samuel chapter 20. David was in Naioth at Ramah. He ran away from there to where Jonathan was. He asked him, "What have I done? What crimes have I committed? I haven't done anything to harm your father, so why is he trying to kill me?" "That will never happen," Jonathan replied. "You are not going to die. My father doesn't do anything at all without letting me know, so why would he hide this from me? He isn't going to kill you." But David strongly disagreed. He said, "Your father knows very well that you are pleased with me. He has said to himself, I don't want Jonathan to know I'm planning to kill David. If he finds out, he will be very sad. But I'm very close to being killed, and that's just as sure as the Lord and you are alive." And Jonathan said to David, "I will do anything you want me to do for you." So David said, "Tomorrow is the time for the new moon feast. I'm supposed to eat with the king. But let me go and hide in the field. I will stay there until the evening of the day after tomorrow. Your father might miss me. If he does, and tell me." And David begged me to let him hurry home to Bethlehem. A yearly sacrifice is being offered there for his whole family group. Your father might say, "That's all right." If he does, it will mean I'm safe. But he might become very angry. If he does, you can be sure he's made up his mind to harm me. Please be kind to me. You have made a covenant with me in front of the Lord. If I'm guilty, kill me yourself. And don't hand me over to your father." "I would never do that," Jonathan said. "And suppose I have been the smallest clue that my father had made up his mind to harm you, then I will tell you." And David asked, "Who will tell me if your father answers you in a mean way?" "Come on," Jonathan said. "Let's go out to the field." So they went there together. Then Jonathan spoke to David. He said, "I promise you that I will find out what my father is planning to do. I will find out by this time the day after tomorrow. The Lord, the God of Israel, is my witness. Suppose my father has kind feelings towards you, then I will send you a message and let you know. But suppose he wants to harm you, and I don't let you know about it. Suppose I don't help you get away in peace, then may the Lord punish me greatly. May he be with you, just as he has been with my father. But always be kind to me, just as the Lord is. Be kind to me as long as I live, then I won't be killed. Never being kind to my family. Don't stop even when the Lord has cut off every one of your enemies from the face of the earth." So Jonathan made a covenant of friendship with David and his family. He said, "May the Lord hold David's enemies responsible for what they have done." And Jonathan had to David's promise his friendship again because he loved him. In fact, Jonathan loved David just as he loved himself. Then Jonathan said to David, "Tomorrow is the time for the new moon feast. You will be missed because your seat at the table will be empty. Go to the place where you hid when all this trouble began. Go there the day after tomorrow when evening is approaching. There is a stone out there called Azel. Wait by it. I will shoot 3 arrows to one side of the stone. I will pretend I'm practicing my shooting. Then I will send a boy out there. I will tell him, 'Go and find the arrows.' Suppose I say to him, 'The arrows are on this side of you. Bring them here. Then come.' That will mean you are safe. You won't be in any danger, and that's just as sure as the Lord is alive. But suppose I tell the boy, 'The arrows are far beyond you.' Then go. That will mean the Lord is sending you away. And remember what we talk about. Remember, the Lord is a witness between you and me forever." So David hid in the field. When the time for the new moon feast came, the king sat down to eat. He sat in usual place by the door, and Jonathan sat across from him. Abner sat next to Saul, but David's place was empty. Saul didn't say anything that day. He said to himself, "Something must have happened to David to make him unclean, and that must be why he isn't here." But the next day, David's place was empty again. It was the second day of the month. Finally, Saul spoke to his son Jonathan. He said, "Why hasn't the son of Jesse come to the meal? He hasn't been here yesterday or today." And Jonathan replied, "David begged me to let him go to Bethlehem. He said, 'Let me go. Our family is offering a sacrifice in the town. My brother has ordered me to be there. Are you pleased with me? If you are, let me go and see my brothers. That's why he hasn't come to eat at your table." Saul became very angry with Jonathan. He said to him, "You are an evil son. You have refused to obey me. I know that you are on the side of the Jesse's son. You should be ashamed of that, and your mother should be ashamed of having a son like you. You will never be king as long as Jesse's son lives on the earth, and you will never have a kingdom either. So send someone to bring the son of Jesse to me. He must die." Why do you want to put him to death?" Jonathan asked his father what he has done, but Saul threw his spear to Jonathan to kill him. Then Jonathan knew that his father wanted to kill David. So Jonathan got up from the table. He was very angry. On the second day of the feast, he refused to eat. He was very sad that his father was treating David so badly. The next morning, Jonathan went out to the field to meet David. He took a young boy with him. He said to the boy, "Run and find the arrows I shoot." As the boy ran, Jonathan shot an arrow far beyond him. The boy came to the place where Jonathan's arrows had fallen. Then Jonathan shouted to him, "The arrow went far beyond you, didn't it?" He continued, "Hurry up, run fast, don't stop." The boy picked up the arrow and returned to his master. The boy didn't know what was going on. Only Jonathan and David knew. Jonathan gave his weapons to the boy. He told him, "Go back to the town, take the weapons with you." After the boy had gone, David got up from the south side of the stone. He bowed down in front of Jonathan with his face to the ground. He did it 3 times. Then they kissed each other and cried. But David cried more than Jonathan did. Then Jonathan said to David, "Go in peace. In the name of the Lord, we have promised to be friends. We have said, 'The Lord is witness between you and me. He is witness between your children and my children forever.'" Then David left. Then Jonathan went back to the